Yeah, everybody I know read this book, Bravo 20. Absolutely incredible, and I think you're right. It is the best selling story of modern war ever written. Um, and then what is? Of course, you do immediate action after that. That's the second book that you talked about when
Yep.
they said, "Do you want to do another
Yep.
one?" This one's selling really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was amazing. Of course, all of us read that as well. And then somehow you start consulting on film. You do Heat, and of
Yeah.
course, that's the scene. Everyone will know what I'm talking about after the bank robbery. Is one that still holds up today and was one of those things that kind of changed the industry as far as realism in
Yeah.
film. And you have guys using their sights, bringing the rifle to their shoulder, changing magazines, shooting,
Exactly.
cover
No
and
more
move,
Hollywood
all
Mags.
those
Yeah.
things. And you were a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. It was almost like a weird film anyway, because I got a message saying, well, there's this director in Los Angeles, and he wants you to come over and work on a film with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And as you would do, go, yeah, all right, leave it at that. But literally about a week later, the script turned up, and they said, no, he's serious. This guy, Michael Mann, is serious. I'm like, okay. And so we arranged a phone call, phoned him up, and he said, look, there's three things I want you to look at. Is the very first armor car robbery, the platinum robbery, and literally on the script it just went World War III. He said, this is what I want, and anything else, make your notes up and come over to Los Angeles. So I thought, even if nothing happens, at least I'll get a free trip to Los Angeles. So I made my notes, and I went over and was there for a couple of weeks, and sat down with Michael Mann, going through it all. And we had those big Tonka toys, those big sort of trucks, and on the carpet and moving them around, that sort of thing. And then he said, great. He said, well, do you want the job? I went, yeah, all right, of course, as if. And literally was there for 7 months. So it's all of the actors, because Michael Mann is just wants everything so right. So all of the actors, everything you see on the film, he wanted the actors to be able to do live. So we'd go down to Orange County Ranges, and really start off with basic pistol work and basic sort of rifle work, and then coming in, drawing the punch and draws, all doing all CQB stuff. Moving on to actually driving, Lincoln town cars into the range, shooting through them, people getting out, taking on fire maneuver forward, live ammunition. No idea how much the insurance cost. I have no idea, but it was like he wanted it. That's what he wanted. So all of certainly Val Kilmer become, like, without a doubt, a competition standard shot. Without a doubt. It was just because what he said, look, if I do a scene, because I'm not the principal actor, if the principal actor's looking good, they're going to use that scene. So I've got to be really on top of my game. And literally I was in North Carolina, and I was doing one of these lectures with the 82nd Airborne. And I'd never seen the film in its entirety. So I went to the movie theater in Fayetteville, and obviously all full of soldiers, and the Val Kilmer sort of moment where he's firing, he changes the magazine. Yep. We've got all these soldiers going, yeah, and waving and shouting around. So I got on the phone, the biggest mistake I made in my life. I got on the phone and rang Michael, and I said, just an amazing reaction, during the firefights and all that. But because Michael was such a perfectionist, he goes, at what point did they scream? At what point did they jump up? I said, I don't know. It's just during people are just enjoying it. But he wanted to know the exact moment, and from there I started getting, involved in, Black Hawk Down and some Jason Statham films, and just a lot of the sort of pre-production, because I found a lot of the time on set can be quite boring, actually. But and you're sitting there. But pre-production stuff I really, really enjoy. All that training and just talking about the script and the characters and all that sort of stuff is really, really good. So it was. I don't know. And then landed up there for about 3 years, I think, in Los Angeles. Just doing one film after the other. It was great.
Wow. And then during that time, do you start thinking about writing some thrillers, the Nick Stone series, and then the Tom Buckingham series later?
Yeah.
Does that all start to kind of come into fruition?
It all started. It was Michael Mann who helped me. It's because I was thinking about it, and what I didn't have was the concept of structure. And and again, there's so much in Los Angeles where you can go out and you can look, and there's classes and there's he said, don't worry about it all. He said, look, everything's based on a 3-act drama. No matter, it can be 5 acts, 6 acts, it doesn't matter. It's all based on the 3-act drama. So have a prologue, set it up, have a traditional 3 acts, have an epilogue, short and sharp, before they get bored. And that was it. So
that's fantastic. That's great advice. That's how I set mine up.
Exactly. And he said, don't think about chapters. At the end of a chapter, he said, that's where the commercial break comes. Think of it that way. They're not paragraphs, they're scenes. End of the chapter, commercial break. He says, because all of us, without realizing it, understand 3-act dramas and because we've been exposed to TV all of our lives.
Yep.
So he says, we know it, whether we know it or not.
Yep.
So use it, because the unconscious will recognize it straight away.